All right, we gave you Sports Betting 101, so we thought we would drop the sequel because everybody said they wanted a little more, maybe go to Sports Betting 102. So welcome to the class. Everybody sit down and be quiet. I'm not afraid to use this ruler in many different ways. And I'm wearing a cool green hat. Don't make it weird. No.
What else
are you spanking the students?
That's not what I'm saying.
What else do you do with the ruler?
You slap people on the wrists, man.
What else?
That's
in many different ways.
And you measure things.
What else?
And you measure things. You want to be bored? Let me just go start measuring stuff around the room for the next hour.
I don't like when you look me in the eyes and say that.
Yeah, well, you know what? Let's get to some sports betting before we digress too much like we already have. All right, so we talked about the basics last time. Like, you have your dog bets, you have your favorites, what the minus and the plus means. We hit a little bit on parlays. I want to dive into some strategy when it comes to parlays.
Let's go to parlays.
But first, I want to take a stop at the player props.
Okay.
I didn't mean for that to rhyme, but it actually did. You're welcome. I'm basically the Marshall Mathers of my time. What is a player prop? It's how many points is this individual player going to score? How many touchdown passes will this quarterback throw? How many fumbles will be in the game looking on the defensive side? So it's basically a bunch of mini bets underneath your normal, what's the spread of the game, what's the over-under, what's the money line. These are kind of like sub-bets that are tailored more toward the individual. But David, it doesn't just stop at player props. And if you check out DraftKings, you'll definitely find some great player props over there. Use our code BOOSTER. But you have head-to-heads as well,
the thing I like,
which we've seen on the show. Tell people exactly what a head-to-head bet is.
Well, if I'm taking a player props, I normally like to do one of those head-to-heads where, let's say, if you have for instance, a quarterback in a game going head-to-head against the other team's quarterback. So you can either take the money line on passing yards or touchdown, something like that. Like, for instance, this week we have Dak Prescott going against Brock Purdy, right? The head-to-head matchup may be who throws more touchdown passes, then you get the odds on that. Or let's say yardage, you may have, just like a spread, a handicap on that, Dak Prescott is minus 25 yards against Brock Purdy. So, Brock Purdy gets a 25-yard head start on the passing yards for that head-to-head. Or let's say pitchers. I do this a lot with pitchers on strikeouts. So MLB season starts up. If you have a head-to-head situation with the two starting pitchers, maybe one pitcher will be minus 1.5 strikeouts, minus 2.5 strikeouts. Or you could just take a head-to-head and say, look, I think Shohei Ohtani is going to strike out more batters than the starting pitcher he's facing.
Hey, everybody. We want to let you know that this video is brought to you by our good friends over at DraftKings Sportsbook, the only place to bet on sports. You need to download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. And new customers, if they use our promo code CRANE, that's C-R-A-I-N, not spelled like the bird, you can bet $5 on any NFL playoff game and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. That's right, $200 in bonus bets instantly. That's promo code CRANE, C-R-A-I-N, only at DraftKings Sportsbook, the greatest sportsbook on the planet. David, if this was Game of Thrones, we all know DraftKings would sit in the tallest castle, the highest castle, and the moat would be the best.
Oh, they sit on the throne and the dragon. I would also strongly encourage downloading the DraftKings app. Super easy to use. That's what I've been using on my phone. Love it.
Blaine, same game parlays, player props, head-to-heads. They got a little bit of everything. The sharps come out early. They're the sharpest of the sharps, and they're the sharkest of the sharks.
Well, think of the best buffet ever in your mind. Right, the options you have. DraftKings is like that, but with sports books.
I love it.
Any option you want to get, it's there. You want the chicken? That's fine. It's there. You want some pizza? It's there. You want the Alfredo? It's all open to you. And right when 12:01 hits, baby, those lines are out.
That's exactly right. So use our code CRAIN at DraftKings for an exclusive offer. Awesome. My favorite player prop to bet is touchdown scores in football. You see it in college some, but you see it in the NFL a ton because you can get really high odds on a guy to score a touchdown. I mean, for example, the Christian McCaffrey's out there, like for the Niners, is minus 125. But if you had Dawson Knox for the Bills, you can get him at plus 600, and you marry up Dawson Knox at plus 600 with Christian McCaffrey, them both to score a touchdown at minus 125, and you can really increase your odds. It's a very narrow path, but I feel like that's almost the best bang for your buck from a player prop standpoint.
Yeah, well, ATTs are always fun to bet. And ATT stands for anytime touchdowns.
Yep.
No matter, he has to just during the game score a touchdown. One thing I kind of like to dabble in sometimes, especially when you get in the playoffs, right, is first touchdown score. What are you going to go with, right? You're going to go with the big dog, the best player they're going to find in the red zone? Or is it going to be a little sneaky pick like I hit the other day with Dawson
plus
Knox
1,200
at the Bills? plus 1,200. Another thing that I'm enjoying doing a lot, did this in the college national championship game, is live betting. One cool thing about DraftKings is you can get in there and live bet. It's awesome, especially being a former coach, a former player. I like to see the rhythm of the game. I like to see each team get a drive on offense, and then I start dropping little dimes throughout the quarter. I bet Georgia minus 6.5 in each quarter and just ran with it the entire game. So DraftKings just gives you multiple options, and that's the cool thing about it.
Yeah, and with live betting as well, there's a lot fewer bets when you live bet than if you bet before the game, obviously, because there's a lot of stuff already going in motion. But live betting is a lot of fun. And Blaine, that was a $1,200 or plus 1,200 odds bet that you hit with the Dawson Knox first touchdown, which means
So you took him first touchdown score or
Yeah.
anytime? Okay.
First touchdown.
And that was plus 1,200. Yeah.
You're not going to get usually high odds like that on an anytime touchdown
Sure.
unless you're going to the bottom of the barrel, maybe a gadget play that they never ran like that. They will
Garbage
a touchdown
time
to
or
a tackle.
A tackle.
Who lines up and,
yeah, well, I mean, so plus 1,200 odds, if you were to bet $10 just on that one bet, you would win $120
Correct.
For hitting that. That's how high those are.
Another thing on the anytime touchdowns, I like taking some anytime touchdown scores with quarterbacks in the NFL a lot more than, say, at the college level, because pass interference in the end zone is a spot foul, so you get to put that at the 1 yard line. A lot of, you look at some of these teams like the Eagles with Jalen Hurts, you look at Josh Allen with the Buffalo Bills.
Pushing's
The
leading.
quarterback, the quarterback sneak is just such an instrumental play now where running backs and fullbacks can push the quarterback into the end zone from the 1 yard after a pass interference that is in the end zone. So those anytime touchdown scores for quarterbacks are interesting for sure.
I agree. Now, again, we've talked about the single bets. You can go back. If you don't know what we're talking about, go to the 101 video. You'll find it. Make sure you subscribe while you're there. Hit that like button and turn that notification bell button on. So, again, make sure you're following us at Crane & Company. We go live each weekday morning, 7:30 to 9 a.m. Eastern. We do live call-ins on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday to talk to you, and we're always talking sports betting. Come in and win some money with us. We're up in units again so far this month. We're plus 16 units in hockey, and if you don't know what units are, those are the most important things, because that's how you count your money. You can have a bad overall record, and if you're still up in units, you're in the green, because it's all about what's in your wallet and what you're going to add. But make sure you add Crane & Company to your watch list.